1956 Cadillac Series 62 Coupe. Cadillac has a very interesting history, the company. They date back to 1903 with the Cadillac Model A. The company was started by a New England Yankee by the name of Henry M. Leland, who was a fanatical engineer and machinist about precision and accuracy in manufacturing. And his first car was not in the high price field. It was a single cylinder car which looked very much like the very first Ford car of the same year. But he gradually moved up market, and in 1908 scored a major coup by winning what's called the Dewar Prize, which is in England, an important prize of the time, international competition. And he won it for having interchangeability of parts. The parts were so finely machined to such close tolerances that it was the first car to pass the test for this. And the test was to take 8 cars, 8 of the particular model Cadillacs of the time, put them in a garage, totally disassemble them, mix all the parts together. And then what they did was also buy throughout 60 parts and replace those parts from parts supplied by such as if you had a breakdown and you had to order parts. And from all of that mess, they assembled 2 cars, and both started right up and performed perfectly. So this is the first car manufactured anywhere in the world that could pass that test. And 5 years later, that would be 1913, they won a second Dewar Prize, the only American company ever to do that. And this was for the development of the self-starter. It's what made it possible for women to drive. You could get in the car and start it without having to worry about a dangerous crank up front. In between those 2 Dewar Prizes, Leland brought his company into the new William C. Durant motor conglomerate that he was building, General Motors. And Leland stayed with Cadillac for several years, but eventually sold all the stock he had. And after World War I, he started a second company. And that company, very ironically, had the same fate as Cadillac. That company was Lincoln, and a few years after he started the company, it was deeply in debt and fell on hard times, and the Ford Motor Company bought Lincoln. So very interesting that the only 2 luxury car manufacturers left today in the U.S., Cadillac and Lincoln, both started by the same man, Henry M. Leland. By the time this car was built, 1956, Cadillac was far and away the dominant American make of cars. That was a fairly recent happening. Back in the 20s and into the 30s, Packard was the dominant luxury car, but they gradually fell away and Cadillac prospered. And in 1956, there were more Cadillacs built and sold than the combined total of Lincoln, Packard, and Imperial. About 150-some thousand. The 56 Cadillac has a 365 cubic inch engine, 285 horsepower, 1 4-barrel carburetor, 4-speed hydromatic transmission. The 56 of the 4 cars in this collection, it was the oldest design. The 56 looks almost identical to the 54 Cadillac when this particular model came out. Personally, I never did like the big change that Cadillac made for the 57 models. Some people like them better, but I never cared for them. Cadillac had actually 3 different 2-door hardtop coupes that they made in 1956. There was the Series 62 coupe, and they had a second Series 62 coupe that had a little fancier interior trim and a little bit different, very minor difference on the outside. And that was the one that had the Coupe de Ville lettering on it. Very hard for most people to tell one from the other. And in the Eldorado series, they had the 2-door hardtop Eldorado, which in 56 they called the Eldorado Seville. And the convertible version of that was called the Eldorado Baritz. The Series 62, like this car, was the series in which the standard Cadillac convertible also came. This car is about 222 inches in length. It has 129-inch wheelbase. The weight is around 4,500 pounds, something like that. The cost is pretty much the same. All 4 of these cars are in the $5,000 price range at that time, and that's when you could buy an entry-level full-size Ford or Chevrolet. In fact, there were no small Fords or Chevrolets in 1956. They were all full-size, but they would have been around $1,600. So around 3 times the price of Fords and Chevys of the time. We've just turned back into the gravel road that leads us to the garage here, in which the collection is housed. You can tell this is a good running car. Shift is fine. Engine starts without a problem. From paint gauge thickness, I believe this car to have the original paint on it. It's an all original car. The interior is just in beautiful condition. When you look at the individual photographs that will be posted, you'll see how nice the interior is. The trunk looks like brand new, as if it never had anything in it. The other cars are restored cars, but the Cadillac is an original car. And we pull back into the garage here, ready to pull in, and I'll stop the video.